So you might be in sales and not want to go into sales leadership. You might want to jump over to marketing or product or something else. That's exactly what I did. My name's Devin Reed, and I went from account executive to content strategy manager to head of content at Gong and Clari. So if you want to make that change from sales to another department, you have to make that intention clear to your leadership team. And that could be during the interview process or while you're just holding a bag and doing your day-to-day job. For me, when I was interviewing at Gong for the AE role, I told my VP of sales at the time, I'm not going to be a rep forever. I know I don't want to go into sales leadership, and I don't know if I want to go into marketing, sales enablement, or something else, but I knew that that moment was going to happen in my career. So the first step is getting to know and building true relationships with the people that might hire you for this transfer. So for me, I started with marketing. That felt like the most probable place for me. So I made sure that I knew Chris Orlob, who was running product marketing and content marketing. I made sure that I knew Udi, who was our CMO. And I really got plugged into their world for two reasons. One, I wanted to prove to them that I was serious and that I could do this. And two, I wanted to prove to myself that this is something I would actually want to do long term. So before I just gave up my sales career and jumped into marketing land, I actually had some experience with the people that could potentially be hiring me. So the whole goal up until this point is to be known and trusted within the organization, because when the opportunity finally arises and that role is open, you want to be someone who's top of their list, or at least the consideration list. For me, what happened was the first open rec for marketing for Chris Orlov's team, who was head of content, opened up. And Chris texted me, but I was nervous. I was in sales. I was finally making good money for the first time in my career, and I didn't know if I was ready to give that up. So I told him maybe. And so I was on the fence. I was sitting at the office one day, kind of in like an open area, and I saw Chris walk a candidate into a room to interview him. And I remember thinking, that's literally my opportunity walking away from me. I picked up the phone and texted him while he was in the interview, like, hey, I'm ready. I want my shot. And so I ended up getting that interview with him. And then shortly after, met with the CMO. The biggest risk when you want to make this transfer isn't actually your skills, it's being unknown. So the last thing you want to do is kind of be in the corner pocket of the organization, not having relationships. And so for me, one of the things I did on top of those marketing relationships was starting to get a little bit more active on LinkedIn. So it was simple stuff. I was no expert, but I would just start to share little jokes here and there, or, hey, I failed at this, here's what I learned. And so it started to get my name out into kind of the sales realm. So I kind of had a twofold approach. One was in person in the organization, and two was digitally outside of the organization. And really, I was focused on building a reputation, because I know that if people say good things about me when I'm not in the room, that's going to help me open up doors to opportunities before I even reach for the handle. So if you want to move into marketing, I suggest starting to do some additional marketing deliverables for your current team right now. And that could be simple things. Just go up to your head of marketing or director level and say, hey, what's on your plate right now that you could use some help with from someone who's in the business, knows our audience, and is willing to put in the extra work. Taking something off their plate, like without them asking, is going to have a huge impact. They're going to remember that. So then you just start to do the work, and you're going to get a feel, do I like this? Am I good at it? And they're going to have the same experience. If you want to get into customer success, product, or something else, I suggest doing ride-alongs, because the last thing you want to do is just jump in to cold waters. So I would say, hey, go to a weekly review for the customer success team. Go start to figure out what the day-to-day job looks like. What does that cadence of a week look like? Start to plug yourself in so you can start to know the language, know what's going to be expected of you, and then you can kind of get a good heat check that way. So if you're making to look an internal transfer, the first thing you need to do is pick which department. It's okay to have multiple on your list, but pick one to start. The second thing is go introduce yourself to that leader. And third is to see how can you get plugged into their world and maybe even take a deliverable off their plate so you get that real world experience. So when I decided to leave Gong and move to Clari, here's how I decided which role to take. This sounds kind of maybe silly and selfish, but I wanted to be the best B2B content strategist on the planet. And while I had success at Gong, I knew I needed another at bat in a similar role to prove to others that I could do it. And honestly, to prove to myself that I could do it. I decided to go to Clari because it was within my niche. It was go-to-market tech, it was head of content, but I also wanted to expand that role a little bit into customer marketing as well to make sure that I'm still challenging myself. The way that I got the opportunity was I actually got recruited by Clari. They had seen my work, again, posting on LinkedIn, seen the great work I did at Gong. And so they recruited me to come over there to help them replicate the success that we had and kind of take them into the new modern playbook that they were looking for on their marketing team. So once again, it was just a case of putting myself out there.